I'm Elaine.
And I'm Rachel.
And welcome to
Legs Out.
And Away We Go. This is the podcast where we tell you about Formula One our way. The races, the cars, the drivers. We are obsessed.
And here's why you should be too.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Elaine.
Welcome back to Pre-Japan.
Suzuka is one of my favorite tracks. It is so hallowed, so important, so historically significant. And also there are flowers.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
Engines, flowers, food, Ferris wheels. I mean, it's on the top of our bucket list,
yes,
frankly.
We are actually, surprised, you're the first to know, we are planning a trip there for 2027. We hope to attend the Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix next year.
I'm watching all of the teams lead up to this, and I'm like, this time next year, we're going to be there.
I can't
wait.
We're
going to be basking in this energy. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to get those hats. They all have the coolest effing hats.
The fans in Japan are the best dressed fans, almost always. It's like full costumes, full signs, full hats. It is the best viewing of the spectator experience. Usually if they show the stands, I'm like, quit it. I want to see the cars. What are we talking about? If you need to cut to something else, then cut to a strategist. I don't know. I want to see the action. In Japan, I'm like, show me the signs.
Yeah.
Show me what they've dreamed up this year.
Yeah. They really go balls to the wall.
Sure do.
Which
we're always going to subscribe to. Speaking
always.
of, subscribe to our podcast, please. If you're new here or you've been, listening along but haven't decided to, fully commit, now's the time.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah.
You're so good at that.
Commit, y'all.
Just commit. Just do it, Nike. Well, we can't wait to talk to you about Suzuka. We're going to have a little Japanese preview coming up. We're also going to have a really good newsroom. We have to talk about Adrian Newey.
Yeah, we do.
We have to talk about everything that's going on in Aston Martin. I would also like to touch on the little blip that was Max's stint in NLS2.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that was supposed to be a clear triumph. And instead, there's a couple other shades to that story. So we will get into that.
Yes. And also we will give you our driver predictions for this coming weekend. We will be there, not there physically yet.
Not in 2026, but in 2027.
We will be throwing a party. This is the late one. We always have people over to our house. Mine and Rachel's because we're married.
Yeah. We live in the same house.
Yeah.
There's now an F1 house. It's nope, I don't have enough information. I was going to make an MTV Cribs joke, but I actually never watched that show, so I cannot help anyone. But if we were to design our dream F1 house, what would it include?
Oh my God. Well, immediately, hysterically, I would want to put cars on all of the walls for the decor.
Each wall.
But we can't afford those, so it would be little Matchbox Hot Wheels cars.
This is our dream. This is our dream. Just dream big. What F1 cars or other cars would you be putting on the walls?
Well, coincidentally, Rachel, we got a little tour yesterday.
We sure did.
Of an amazing place here in Austin, Texas called the Petrol Lounge. And we got to see some cars that I had only dreamed of.
Yeah, you were literally picking your jaw up off the floor multiple times.
Multiple. And it was so interesting too, the cars that Rachel was drawn to and the car that I was drawn to, which, by the way, it was Hispano-Suiza, a car from, I believe he said 1927.
I don't remember the exact year, but the 20s for sure.
Yeah, and the Nazis had stolen it and stored it in a cave, and then it wasn't found until the 80s.
Yeah.
And it still runs.
And it literally had actual horns. You could see the horn next to the engine.
I am a
Not a little horn in your steering wheel that you're just oh yeah, that needs a horn. No, literally the little cylindrical, everyone knows what a horn looks like. Good. He
said it actually made the awooga sound.
Yeah. Awooga. And high beam, low beam. We saw him pull a lever and it tilted the headlights. High beam, low beam. It's not just, it was neat seeing the things that we take for granted in terms of names and to see the history and the mechanical infancy of these technologies. It was really neat to see. And then there was also some modern day cars that had me drooling. I just, you know, I am a sucker for a Ferrari, and there was a Singer Porsche, which I had not seen before. And it is stunning. It's beautiful. It's so lovely. We had a great time. So thanks to the team there.
Yes, thank you so much. We're actually hoping that we can record an episode there. So, yeah, if you are not watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe there because we will have some very cool videos coming up from that
Definitely.
when it's able to happen.
Okay, but back to the dream house. I'm not done with this.
Oh,
we
good.
need to explore that. What are you putting on the walls?
Oh, I've always had this dream. I'm going to be honest. Moving on from the walls, I've always had this dream of like a hamster tube house.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to just have like hamster tubes connecting all the rooms.
This has nothing to do with F1.
No,
This is just your dream house. Good.
everything is a slide. I'm going to slide down to the kitchen and then I can crawl back up the tube when I want to go back up. I'm a hamster. Why am I a hamster?
You are a hamster. Wow.
All right. Well, I discovered that one. What's in your house? What's in your part of the house, Rachel?
Let's see. Well, I think we'd need to have like a top quality sim rig. That would be, thing number one. Thing number two is I think it would be located next to Spa. Like we'd be there. It'd just be like right next to the track.
I didn't even think about changing location.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be a little bit of a practicality issue in how we traverse to said shared F1 house. But I mean, if we're making a dream, then
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in Spa, I think, in all the hills.
Oh,
Beautiful. It'd be like tiered within the trees so you could maybe see parts of the track, but then we could also have our own beautiful like hideaway. We'd have a great garage so people could bring their cars to us and we
Yes.
could look at them.
love
We
that.
could say, this is amazing.
Yeah. And we could just
And then
talk
we could
about
bring
it.
them champagne. And
Yeah.
then we could say, all right, tell us all your racing stories.
Let's
Go.
party.
Yeah.
I love all
We'd
of
have
that.
so many good parties. I love this F1 house.
The
Great.
hills, the yodeling.
Would be alive with the sound of engines
And yodeling.
and yodeling
Yes.
and hamsters, apparently.
and hamster tubes. I can't wait to live in this house.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Could someone draw this for us? This
Ooh,
is
yeah, we have artistic talent out the wazoo in
Yes.
dance. Sure.
Yeah.
Let's toot our own horns there. However, neither of us can draw. Not one
really.
bit. No artistic capabilities there. So yeah, if anyone wants to visualize this for us.
Oh my God, please.
Okay, are you ready
Yeah.
for a newsroom?
Yeah.
This is not necessarily of my dreams in terms of a move, but I feel like Drive to Survive weirdly got it right with their team principal focus. It like set us up nicely for this beginning part of the year where there's been a lot of team principal drama, a lot of news, a lot of early silly season. And what we're referring to is, of course, the news that will be breaking to you, dun 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 dun, if you've never been on the internet. Jonathan Wheatley was previously the team principal at Audi. He was leading that project. This could have been a really big thing that he led into its golden era.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he has announced that he is leaving Audi for personal reasons.
Uh-huh.
And we'll pin that because maybe, but it was previously announced or rumored to be announced that he was going to be in the prime position to take the team principal role at Aston Martin.
Yeah.
First thoughts.
The ship is burning.
Mhm.
Don't go on to a burning ship.
Which ship?
Aston Martin.
So here's the thing. Agreed. The fire hazard is very, very high.
Yeah.
I don't think they're in burn it to the ground territory yet because I think they have assembled the dream team. And here's where I say they had too much money. Usually we're on the other side that maybe there's not enough money for a small team trying to make their presence known on the grid. But I almost feel like with the backing of Lawrence Stroll and that project, there is so much money that they just pulled in incredible people and didn't put enough focus on, okay, let's make the project as inherently strong and threaded within itself as they could, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. And I just want to point out that you called it. You said this right when Adrian Newey was promoted to team principal.
Yeah.
Why is he in this role? He doesn't belong in this role. He belongs just focused on the cars. So that comes on the heels of the announcement that Adrian Newey has been demoted. What a
hate
strange
the word
term.
demoted. Yeah, because while it was never out and out said he's a temporary team principal, pretty much everyone understood that this was a temporary measure. Why I was so unsettled by that, if you weren't around for that original conversation, also it's been like 6 months, so we've all lived a lot of life. I'll explain now. He is one of the top engineering minds maybe in the world. Like the way that he's able to visualize the aerodynamics of a race car and then not put it into a computer like a lot of people do. And I'm not saying that that undermines anyone's talent. That's a great technological advancement that we have, and people are using it in brilliant ways. However, Adrian Newey is with him and his little notepad.
Yeah.
That is his brain, his pencil, and his notepad. And the ideas that flow, no pun intended, out of that man's brain should not be blocked in any way. And putting him in a management role and saying, hey, now go talk to media, let all these other things pull you away from your notepad.
Yeah.
That is stupid, in my opinion. Like, I just do not understand, A, why Stroll, talking about the senior Stroll there,
Yeah.
thought that was a good idea, and B, why Adrian Newey was like, okay, that I think is, if anything, his error, is saying, sure, I'm going to be at the first 2 races anyway, I'll do it.
How do you say no to Lawrence Stroll, though?
No. Oh, I just say it. Just say no. Just say no.
I don't think it was
No,
that easy
thank
for him.
you.
I do not think.
You're correct. I'm being facetious, but you're right. He's got a lot of money and he's also the boss.
Yeah. If he says, I want you to jump, you say how high. That's the type of vibe that I get from Aston Martin. And right now it's, do you want me to jump off the side of the boat? Great. How far? Because that boat is going down.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so much stuff to speculate
Sure.
beyond this, because I just don't know right off the bat. I don't know how Jonathan Wheatley, his lovely demeanor, how he's worked so hard with Audi. You can tell he's made a great environment there.
Yes.
How can he transfer that to Aston Martin, where it seems like this is more of like a dictatorship, everyone's under the thumb of Stroll Sr. There's a reason why things don't go well. When you have the best that money can buy and things still aren't going well, there's a reason.
Yeah, I agree. I am very surprised that Wheatley has decided to leave because of that good demeanor, because of that really almost like boring, familiar setup that they had created. Like, Audi is not necessarily doing any sparks in terms of the marketing that they are. Like, they're not the showiest team, but it seemed like everyone was well grounded. And not that I think Audi was going to be winning championships by 2027 or something, but I feel like this could have been Wheatley's opportunity to take a team from its infancy and grow it to a championship winning team. As much as we don't like Horner, we have to give him the credit that he did that with Red Bull Racing. He came in when he was 30s, very young, and stuck with that team and grew it to the superpower that we know in Formula One today. Yes. Yeah. Maybe not today, but of yesterday, 2026. And I think that this was Wheatley, who was at Red Bull for many of those years alongside Newey. I feel like this was his chance. And I am surprised that he has bailed on that project so quickly. He had to move his family to Switzerland to take this job. It was a big move. Yeah. Maybe he hated Switzerland. I don't know. I also will say, I'm like 2% worried that it actually was for personal reasons. We're doing all the speculation and something has actually gone wrong.
There it is.
And so I hope that his family is actually fine. I hope that he's okay.
Personal reasons could be a lot of things.
It could be many things. And so I hope it is the assumption that everyone is making, that it's just a cleverly worded excuse to get him out of his job and positioning him to Aston Martin. But there's always the possibility that something is actually wrong. So we hope not.
Yeah, you are correct. I hope it's nothing personal, familial wise. This begs the question, was something worse at Audi than possibly could be worse at Aston Martin? I couldn't imagine going anywhere worse at this point.
Oh, Alpine. I mean, I think Aston Martin is not the best environment, but I think that my opinion of the environment is better on my side than I think you would say. Yeah. But I think that it's definitely proving itself to not be spectacular. Yeah. But what do you think potentially went wrong at Audi?
That's a great question. I've heard the rumor that Wheatley and Binotto do not get along well.
Yeah. And if that name sounds familiar and you need a refresher, that's Mattia Binotto, who was previously the team principal at Ferrari, took a little hiatus. We didn't see him and we knew he'd come back, and here he is. He was head of the F1 project, I think was his asinine title because they're all just made up fancy CEO titles. They're all like, I'm in charge of F1,
Yes.
team principal, CEO, head of projects.
Mhm.
They all mean the same thing. And also, every team is going to structure that role a little differently.
Yeah.
So even if you're called team principal, that is not necessarily you're going to have the exact same day to day at Williams as you are at Mercedes, for example.
Yes.
So that caveat being said, he was, Mattia Binotto, the head of F1 projects. He's now, surprise, team principal at Audi.
I can tell you, I mean, I don't have much more to speculate about this because there's only so much that we know from this point. I would pay great money to get a beer with Adrian Newey.
Oh my gosh, I would buy him so many beers.
Oh, let's just be a fly on the wall
Yeah.
when he is pulling up his pants in the morning. Like I
don't want to be there for that,
I
but
mean-
thank you, Elaine.
just thinking of I don't
The
nothing
day to day. I see where you're going.
But when you're in private and his like I'm assuming he probably talks to himself like most people do.
Mhm.
I am a huge fan of I talk to myself all the time.
Yeah.
Great conversations. I would love to just hear what the internal dialogue is because
Mhm.
I don't think there's any way to know what's really going on. I think there are so many contracts, NDAs, so many safeguards that we will never get to know what's really going on.
Sure. Well, and that brings us to an interesting point, which is let's say that Jonathan Wheatley indeed left because things were not going well at Audi. Let's say that the speculation that he's going to Aston Martin as team principal is correct.
Mhm.
There is the tricky little issue of gardening leave, which I actually meant to Google and see if this is like a term in other industries, but I had never really run across that term prior to F1, but maybe it's just like a sporting or like a, had you heard that previously?
No, gardening leave.
Gardening leave. Basically, it's like, hey, you have a whole lot of data in your head, very proprietary, very confidential data in your brain from this competitive team who's trying to beat this other competitive team.
Yeah.
You can't just take all the knowledge that you have
Uh-huh.
at Audi and bring it to Aston Martin. So their idea is that you're supposed to basically just take a beat.
Yeah.
You got to like let the team advance on past your knowledge before you can then take what you know to another team. So let's say, great, Jonathan Wheatley is indeed going to Audi.
Okay.
I think he's still going to need a gardening leave because we're not at the end of the regulation where everyone's kind of, you know, come to the same elevation point. We're in the beginning of Everest. We're at the very beginning of everyone learning. You don't even know what gear you need yet, practically.
Seriously, especially at Audi. Where do you start?
New power unit. Like,
Where
there's just, there is a
start
lot
fixing
that he will have in his brain in terms of where they're going, what they've done. And so you don't want to just give that information freely to your competitor. So I don't really understand that if, yes, Wheatley is going to Aston Martin, why would they announce, well,
no, why would they say it now? To me, this would be a move that shouldn't be allowed until the end of the season.
Well, agreed. And I was about to say, like, why did they announce it now? But that's my error because Aston Martin, in fact, has not announced anything. In fact, Lawrence Stroll, the PR man of all PR mans, has said, with the current speculation surrounding Adrian Newey's role in our team, I want to take this opportunity to set the record straight. As executive chairman and controlling shareholder, I would like to reaffirm that Adrian Newey is my partner and an important shareholder. He is AMR's managing technical partner, and he and I have a true partnership built on a shared vision of success for the company. Who wrote that? It's his publicist. But they have basically backed their man and said, no, this is who we have put our weight behind. And it's like, but you didn't really. I don't know. So to conclude my thoughts, basically, I'm going to defer to the race as always because I love them. Ben Anderson referred to this whole shenanigans over at Aston Martin as one big long car crash happening in plain sight. And so, like I said, I don't think that the house has been burned down yet, but the car in the garage and the house, they're in pretty significant fire hazard. I'm interested to see what I think Jonathan Wheatley could presumably bring to this. Yeah, because remember, they have worked together at Red Bull during some crazy winning eras for Sebastian Vettel and also Max Verstappen. So there is star power there. But I will point back to my fact, you can bring all the stars together. If the stars cannot communicate with each other and come together and make a cohesive product, then you just have a pretty picture.
Listen, you can buy Yves Saint Laurent lipstick for $50, but if you put it on a pig, it's still a pig.
Correct.
So there we are.
There we are. That's, yeah. Good luck, Aston Martin. Good luck, Jonathan Wheatley. Hope you're okay. And yeah, just a general good luck to everyone involved in this situation. And to us as we try to keep up with the headlines.
I know. This, what entertainment.
Okay, so to another not quite car crash, but a mental car crash, because we were expecting Max Verstappen to come out of this weekend being refreshed, being a little excited, maybe with a win to his name.
And he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got
for about an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
So where was he racing? Like what? Tell us.
Okay.
It's not Formula One, so tell us what was going on.
And we have been excited for him. We've been talking about the Nürburgring.
Mm-hmm.
Still very challenging to say. So this past weekend, Max raced in the NLS, Nürburgring Langstecken City.
Take us right to Germany, y'all, because we'd fit right in.
Danke, Rachel. So he raced in the NLS 2. It's a series of races that run about 4 hours. The last one runs 6 hours. But for this one, it's an endurance series, essentially. It's a championship that's held annually in the Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Nordschleife. Apparently. I was told recently that it's like Porsche, Nordschleife.
You told me this yesterday, and I got so excited because I was going to have this whole German bit for you.
Do you want to go again?
Not really.
Okay. That's what you get, guys.
That's it. All right. Well, why was he disqualified?
Tires. Y'all, it's important. Pay attention. His team did not, unfortunately. And when I say his team, this was not a disqualification on the shoulders of Max Verstappen and his two teammates, Jules Gounon, and Daniel Juncadella. These are, I'm sure, very incorrect. Should I have YouTubed this?
Wait.
1000%.
Can you put it in the document?
Okay, let me put it in the document and maybe Elaine can give it a try. Give me 2 seconds, y'all.
His teammates, Jules Gounon and Daniel Juncadella.
Okay, you did. That sounded better. Whether that was right or not, you're right. That sounded a heck of a lot better. Anyways, so the three of them are driving. It's going well. They've got like a considerable lead. And as you said, podium. Great.
Yes.
Win.
Mm-hmm. Max opens and closes, I will say.
Okay, good. Yes, we love that. He's probably having a great time. The videos that I saw of some of the moves that he was doing they were spicy. They were special. They were a reminder of like, hey, yeah, this is our world champion here.
That's his special sauce right there.
Precisely. And then we come to my favorite word, which is not his favorite word that weekend, tires. Because in the qualifying session, they apparently exceeded the amount of tire sets that they're allotted each weekend. They're only allowed to use 6, and they used 7. Controversy. You've broken the rules. You're disqualified. Yeah. I posted a thing on Thread saying like, hey, Max Verstappen fans, how are we doing? And some people were exactly what I thought, which is like, hey, we're devastated. This is rough. And other people were like, well, you broke the rules. And I'm like, yes, I agree with you.
However, Rachel's people.
We can also still be disappointed. It's still difficult to see him be like, this is my fun thing. And he probably still had a great time.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit of a like cosmic kick in the face. I feel like that this is his side thing, that it's supposed to be a relief from the Formula One drive that he's having not a great time with. And then rules got him again.
You know, in a way, when you've had as many wins as Max Verstappen, I wonder if this is like, well, I basically won anyway.
Which I hope that is the mentality that he has. And you would probably know much better than me. Probably is.
Well, probably not, honestly, because he is such a winner and he is so competitive that he would not be satisfied. I'm assuming he's probably not. However, it would be encouraging to know that you could win this easily, hands down. And what he posted afterwards basically said, we keep moving forward, which is my favorite of his mentalities. He's very good at being like, this was hard. We keep pushing. We didn't quite make it. We keep going. Never give up.
I'm glad that is inspirational to you.
I would rather hear that than when he races in Formula One. It's a
Yeah.
little bit worse,
Yeah,
I
which
will
is you
say.
guys don't know.
Nothing is happening.
This was, of course, not just a one-off side quest. He's got like a whole side quest in mind. This is like quest upon quest upon quest to get to the
Yeah.
final quest, which is the
Nürburgring 24 hours.
yes, which will be in May, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so this is happening concurrently with the Formula One season. And I think that's a large part of the reason why Red Bull Racing still has him as a driver
Yeah.
is that this was a-okayed. Because I think a couple years ago, if he had wanted to do this, I'd be like, abso-freaking-lutely not.
Yeah.
Remember, was it Helmut Marko who was like a little bit, not outright critical, but like a little bit sideways, side-eye critical of his sim racing?
Yeah.
And now he's doing full-blown other races.
Yeah. Well, also, Helmut Marko can just lie down and take a nap. So, Max Verstappen gets to do what he wants to do, which is good. He should be able to at this point. While looking into the Nürburgring and NLS and then the 24-hour race, I did find it interesting where they talked about the track.
Yeah.
Because apparently...
It's a monster of a track.
Monster. And in fact, they call it Green Hell.
The
Green Hell.
A beautiful hell. An extraordinarily dangerous hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the NLS races on the Nürburgring Nordschleife part, which is also called the Mercedes Arena and the motorbike chicane.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Mercedes, what you doing?
I know.
They're because also
everywhere.
If you did not know this, Max Verstappen was racing a Mercedes car in a Red Bull livery, which is
Verstappen.
We knew it was gonna happen. It just didn't happen the way that we thought it was gonna,
or wanted it to go. But you know what?
There's still speculations happening, still currently to this day.
Good,
because Mercedes is winning.
Get out. Get out, Max, while you still can. Anyway, the NLS layout is about 24.3 kilometers, and the 24-hour layout is 25.3 kilometers. So there's like an extra kilometer there.
Interesting. That
they use for the 24-hour. Now, this is interesting purely because to me, F1 does not race.
Right.
The Nürburgring Nordschleife. Nordschleife.
You got it. 10.
Better.
10, 10.
Thank you. Because it is, quote unquote, too dangerous and incompatible with modern F1 safety standards. They have no runoff areas, narrow sections, and most importantly, there's an inability to safely facilitate rapid medical response.
Yeah, I think that's the key one there because there were a lot of crashes in the past across lots of series that perhaps could have been saved lives.
Yes.
But because it is so heavily forested and so low visibility, it is really very difficult to get safety crew there swiftly enough. Not only today, but think about it when we did not have all the Wi-Fi connect, like everyone's connected to the nth degree. And so many people unfortunately lost their lives because of these circumstances.
Yes, exactly. It's a monster of a track.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in the 24 hours or any of the NLS races, there will be more racing.
Yes. Which I'm so glad it's not just been like, great, we ban this. It's too dangerous. No one can go on it.
Yeah.
Because it is an incredible, not only living piece of history, but also just like will continue to provide great racing.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that it continues to be maybe adapted for today's racing. I don't ever want to see it gone.
No. I mean, just like ideally, it would be great to see the old track at Monza.
I don't know how we'd ever really get that with this characteristic of car, but it's so I wish that I had been there. I wish I'd been alive to see that. It gives me chills to think about.
Yeah.
As we've talked about a little bit, I don't know if I had the heart to be there because I don't know if I could be the fan that I am today if I had to watch one of the drivers die.
Yeah.
That we went to a real morbid place all of a sudden, but that used to be a kind of a given. And so I am so thankful, as we've said many times, for the safety regulations that we have today.
Yet again, thank you for the Halo.
Wow,
the Halo is the best addition. I know personally we've seen several crashes over the last few years that we've really started watching that the halo saved their life.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
All right. So
Now that we wax poetic about
Woo!
Germany while butchering their names, sorry, let's go to Japan.
Yee, Suzuka. All right. Track facts with me.
Yes. We need to give you a better name for this. Stay tuned for next week where we give you like a segment name.
Ooh. Like you, like your,
My tech corner.
yeah, your tech corner.
Which isn't, the most revolutionary name either, but we could get a little more creative.
I like where all of this is going.
Yeah.
Tires with Rachel. All right. So track fun facts with me. Name coming TBD. So the lap distance itself, 5.8 kilometers.
Okay.
Translates to 3.6 miles. So basically they're running a 5K.
Great.
58 laps, which means you're going to put this in perspective. In total, they run 307 kilometers, which is 191 miles.
Okay. Yeah. So this is like decently average. That's like a decently average lap count.
What every man wants to hear. So decently average. So average, Japan.
So,
who holds the record, Rachel?
Yeah, very good. It's Lewis Hamilton, is it not?
Who is above average because he set the record there for 1 minute 30 seconds, 0.983.
No one's ever told that man that he's average.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton set this record in 2019.
Okay. I think it is also important to remember that these cars are a little slower. So we're not going to see like record-breaking times this year, even if George is putting in his like craziest lap, as he probably will. Lewis Hamilton's record is pretty safe.
Yeah.
Pretty safe right now.
Agreed. My favorite thing, however, about this track that I do want to say, if you're wondering in your mind, which one was this? I can't quite remember. This is the track that goes over under itself.
Yeah.
It is my favorite. I don't understand why this is so cool to me, but the over under the bridge.
Overpass.
Overpass.
It's the only F1 track with an overpass on track. Because Abu Dhabi's pit lane does go underneath, but this is like racing.
Yes.
This is like where they're going at their tip-toppiest.
Agreed. There is a speed trap on the over.
Oh.
So right after turn 14, sector 3 is right around turn 15, and then you hit a really sharp turn at turn 16, 17, and then 18 is a curve. You also have a really big high-speed area on the end, right where the pit lane is coming into turn 1.
Amazing.
So
it's a figure 8 too. I think that's such a cool characteristic of this. I mean, it's a very skinny 8.
It's like
but
a
like
bobby pin.
Right? I specifically bring the fact up that it is that close to one another on side to side because it was not in Formula One. It was one of the latter series, but they had a crash that the car ended up on the other side. And so that is, we're talking a lot about crashes today. Thankfully, we're all doing fine. Things are going well. But this is the site of Jewel Bianchi's bad crash. And so it is, just, wow, I'm really bringing it to a sad place.
No.
Suzuka's incredible.
It is incredible. But I mean, you can't talk about this without talking about the safety of the sport.
Yeah.
It's important. It's prevalent. What they do is dangerous, period.
Right.
You can't deny it. And several years ago, I want to say this was 3 years ago, Suzuka was very rainy and Pierre Gasly had an incident with the tow car coming onto track next to him, but it was raining and so dark that he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
And he was furious.
Well, it's so triggering because it is so similar to Jewel Bianchi's, the crash that ended up taking his life. Unfortunately, it was not immediate, but it was the cause of his death. And Jules and Pierre are both Frenchmen, and there's a lot of kinship there. And so it was a frightening moment for Pierre. And so he was angry for good reason.
Yeah.
So definitely hope they learned their lesson on that. To some happy things on the track. This is one of the driver's top tracks, like across the board. Everyone loves this because it demands a lot of technicality.
Yes.
But it also is a very like flowing track. Until you get to the in chicane, it's like free flow, like you are feeling the curves. It is such a just flowing track, and then you get to this kind of like ooh, in your flow, and you have to needle your way through that chicane, and so that'll be a big spot to pay attention to for potential overtakes.
Yes.
Now, this is a track that in this day and age, we don't necessarily get that many overtakes, but that has been a high point to this year's regulation set, and so maybe we will get more overtakes this year.
Yes. Yeah. Kudos to that.
Kudos.
Before we spin the wheel, which we need to do,
We do.
I just am curious who you think is going to be on the top. Who do you think is going to win?
I hate to be boring, but I think it's George Russell.
Oh,
I do think that I'm not going to be saying George Russell for the end of the year, because I think this break that we're going to have is going to allow everyone to take all the data that they have for the first 3 races and make, hopefully, really big jumps towards Mercedes.
interesting. I think this is going to be Lewis Hamilton's. Yeah.
I'm like, I was silent for a second. Why?
Because I think he knows this track better than anybody else at this point. Obviously, he holds the record, which has nothing to do with his current machinery. However, I think he's gaining the confidence back that he used to have in the team, in the car. I was asked yesterday if I thought Lewis Hamilton made a mistake, and I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, he shouldn't be at Ferrari. I have since
Walk
stepped
that
back.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a gut reaction because obviously I never want to kick Carlos Sainz anywhere other than where he belongs.
Yes, that is always
at the top.
a hurt spot for us.
Agreed. Agreed. However, I think this might be his moment to shine. If we're going to see him come back ever before the end of his career,
this is the year.
this is it.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. I'm excited to see how that plays out, because Mercedes v Ferrari is definitely keeping us on our toes in 2026.
Love it.
I think someone else I will put up for maybe great is the continuation of Ollie Behrman. Not only because he is making some freaking strides, he's just doing great, but this is also the home country track of Toyota Gazoo Racing, which is a main partner of Haas. And so it is important for them to perform well. They're going to be in that Godzilla livery car.
Yep.
So hopefully Godzilla gallops right up the field. I don't know, what does Godzilla do?
He stomps around.
He stomps around.
He hangs off buildings.
But I'm hoping for a little more grace, maybe a little less like blunt power and a little more grace from Ollie Behrman. Perhaps this will be a really strong performance for them. We cannot say the same for Aston Martin. This is literally their home track. Like, Honda owns the Suzuka circuit. They made it basically as their own test.
How ironic. I forgot to mention that. Yes, Honda built this track in the 70s.
Yeah. So I hope that we get both cars finishing the Grand Prix, and that will be a solid win for them this year. Shall we spin the wheel?
Let's spin the wheel.
Okay.
So sorry. This was built in the 60s, excuse me, by Honda.
But we didn't get to race Formula One until the 80s, I believe. 87, I want to guess.
87.
So I think, here we go. All right. This one is maybe going to be a very close one for us once again. The driver of Spin the Wheel for Suzuka is Checo Perez. We're going in with fresh eyes, y'all. Fresh eyes.
Who's that? I don't know any Checo Perez.
Yeah, you've never met him. This is a brand new rookie. Pretty sure I've made that exact joke before. Trying to revitalize.
Literally, we've said that so many times. How many times can we say that about Checo? Let's count.
What position do you think he's going to find himself in Japan? No sprint this weekend. We're back to normal format.
My gut wants to say P18, but that's only because my mind is still saying there are only 20 drivers, in which case I have to say P20.
Okay. P20 for Sergio Perez from you. I think he will not finish the race. I think the reliability is still a toss-up, and so I think this is going to be a DNF for him. Maybe even a DNS. We don't know. But I'm going to say DNF. That's going to be my prediction officially. Stamp.
Every time I don't think that you could get shadier, you get just.
This is not even shady specifically. I just am concerned about the car. I think that there's still going to be a lot of reliability issues.
That car.
Piper.
Car's so bad.
Piper's really made her way in. I never thought that I would be making White Lotus references, not because of White Lotus, but because of somehow our Formula One podcast. But such is pop culture, so here we are.
I won't let it go. I love Piper too much. She's a part of me now.
Okay, well, is there anything else we want to share about Suzuka, about Nui, about how you'd like to see him in the mornings?
Yeah, please let us know if
Mhm.
you have opinions on that. Also, are you planning on throwing a party? What are you planning on serving?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't come up with our menu quite yet.
No, because we have too many options. We're too excited. There are
Very
too many delicious things to serve, and so we need to winnow it down.
Obviously, we have a very good friend who listens to the podcast. She is from Japan. We're just going to eat all of her food. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and we're super excited about it. So
Love.
racing and food, our favorite things. Dance is in there too, but
Somewhere.
that's just a part of who we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, subscribe to us wherever you are listening. Find us on all of the socials, and we will see you next week with our recap for Japan. And so with that, it's legs out
And
and away we go. We'll see you next time.